Hey there, it's Lacy J from Space Bear Media, the makers of Lost in My 40s. Did you know that you can go to spacebearmedia.com right now to access all our content, including our weekly video pre-shows where your hosts ponder ethical questions related to the week's episode and answer some fun questions just for, well, fun. Speaking of fun, if you have it thanks to our content, please consider rating or reviewing Lost in My 40s on your favorite app or recommend us to a friend who loves Lost. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Lost in My 40s, Season 2, Episode 6. It's called Abandoned. It's a Shannon episode, and Christy's going to give it to us. This is a big episode, guys, so strap in.
Strap in and strap on. Because we're talking about backenders the whole time.
Babe, update us on the power rankings before we slide on into the back end or whatever we're doing.
Ooh.
No, I guess we're getting into the love tent in a little bit.
Oh,
yeah,
God.
baby.
Yeah. All right. Where we left off was Kate still atop her plateau with other folks starting to catch up. We still
it's
have
like everybody's
Helen.
horrible this season. There aren't that many like positive points. The top is not moving. It's just a bunch of like awful fucking people at the bottom.
Yeah, that's basically it. So in second place, Helen and Hurley still. Helen has definitely left a lasting impression. We haven't seen her in a few episodes, but she's still in the top. And then Mr. Echo edged out Dr. Bronze, who's now not Dr. Bronze anymore. So I have to come up with a new pet name for him.
Great. He's a great character.
Yeah, I mean, the bottom, it's just the same old cunts. Mr. Cooper, Randy Douchebag Nations. And then we've got, the infamous Susan.
And Kevin.
Susan. No, Kevin is no longer in the bottom three.
Oh.
He has been replaced by Mr. Kim, the Korean hotel manager.
Okay, the classist hotel manager. Right.
Yeah.
All right, baby. Thank you for that. Christy, would you like to tell us a little more about Shannon?
This is a great episode. I really loved it.
I climaxed at the very
end. Okay, so nighttime on day 47. Shannon's giving Vincent water, and Sayid comes up to her and tells her to grab her stuff. And he takes her to a romantically decorated tarp hut. And he says that he made it for her. And she smiles. He puts his hand on her face and they kiss. And then Sayid says, "I'm sorry." And he removes a gun from his pants. He's like, "Do you need to carry that all the time?"
One gun, yeah.
Go ahead. You said...
It just sounded like you were talking about his dick. We're like,
I'm sure
he
there's a
reaches
double
in, he
entendre
pulls his
going
gun
there.
out.
Oh yeah. Well,
if it had gone off right then, it would save us all a lot of trouble.
Oh, come on.
Just killing Shannon.
just right there. He's like, "I bring you into my fuck palace and kill you."
Oh my God.
I'm going to call it the Love Shack.
Okay. That's good.
Yeah.
Love Shack.
So they're in the Love Shack. He removes his gun from his pants.
See, how is that not about his dick? I mean, like, what the fuck?
It's an actual gun.
He removes his gun from his pants. Oh, shit.
So she's like, "Do you have to carry that all the time?" And he said, "I only carry it because I have someone to protect." So anyway, Shannon is moved by the fact that he is saying that he has to protect her. She kisses him, and then they do it. Somebody on the island finally
I think this was the first,
they get laid. So
the first time that we've seen it, we don't know
about the back enders.
Yeah,
though.
the back
that's
enders.
true.
Bet the extras, it's like a fucking truck stop with them.
Oh my God.
I bet Nikki and Paolo are getting it on.
All kinds of nasty shit.
Oh, God.
Oh, God. There you go. You love those.
No Nikki and Paolo yet.
Yeah. You're doing that episode, right?
Oh, yeah. I requested
Christy
that
is.
episode.
Derek, you have no idea what we're talking about. She's talking about
don't.
some of the extras. It's an episode in season 3. It is arguably the worst episode of the entire show. And
Oh, wow.
Christy's claimed it. She's ready for it, but we're nowhere near there yet.
Yeah. Now we're in the jungle, back with the backenders, and Cindy is asking Ana Lucia, shouldn't we get moving? Like it's dark. And she's like, well, Sawyer needs a little bit more rest. And he just kind of laughs and he's like, she's lost. Ana Lucia says that she is not. And Sawyer calls her Ponce de Leon.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And he's like, well, which way should we go? We don't have Echo here to lead us. And she gets mad and
He calls her bluff.
yeah, but she gets mad and she's like, well, if it wasn't for your friend, Echo would be here. And Sawyer says, Mike only cares about himself and his kid, and neither's got squat to do with me. And then we hear from Michael, glad you feel that way.
He locked in the
Timing,
box.
Sawyer.
Yeah.
Timing.
Yep.
Yep. And Sawyer's like, I didn't expect to see you again.
That's the excuse. Sorry, I was talking shit, but I didn't
I
think
was going
I'd
to talk
see
shit
you.
about you because I thought you were dead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I thought you were off to find Walt. So Jen looks at Sawyer's arm and, he's like, it's not doing, you can tell that he's insinuating that his arm is not doing well.
Right.
And Sawyer's like, yeah, Chewie, I know. My arm's about to fall off.
Oh my God.
I love that he calls him Chewie.
It is, yeah.
It's endearing. So Echo is there and he tells Anna that they have to leave now because he has seen the others. The backenders start, demanding to know all kinds of information. And Libby is asking if he saw the kids. And Anna just shushes everybody
The
and
kids?
tells them.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What?
So Ana Lucia she's like, be quiet. We have to move out. Back in the love shack, Shannon and Sayid are cuddling. They've clearly cuddling post-coital.
The gun has
she's
been
like-
fired.
Yeah, she's
The
like,
gun
so,
has been fired?
oh my God.
Shannon's covered in shrapnel.
Oh,
Gooey, sticky. Yeah.
ew.
Gooey, sticky. Yeah.
Lots of he pulled it out, but
Oh, fuck.
Wow. All right. So,
Sure
she's
was
like,
more of a
hey,
cream
so-
pie episode.
I bet it is. Maybe they're
It
back
gives a whole
in,
new
too.
meaning to the Shannon's.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh God. How grim. So grim.
Go ahead.
Okay. So,
Woo, get us on track, Christy.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Damn.
so Shannon asks Sayid, does this mean we're serious? And he's like, no, I do this for all the women that I meet on deserted islands.
Oh God. He's
great
such a
fucking
fucking
line.
cheese ball.
Oh no, I love it.
I love their interactions. He's bringing out the best in her.
He brings out the best in her, but yeah, it's not an equal trade because he turns into a doof.
He's a blithering idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
It's not an
does.
equal trade.
But
He's
he
good for
likes
her.
her.
I know. I get it. No, I get it. I just think that I like Sayid better when he's not with Shannon.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Yeah,
anyway,
the
he's
Poon
not.
Hound where he kind of melts his brain a little bit. Like,
Yeah.
if you think about it, his utility to the island, to like the folks in the island, he was way more useful before he started dating her.
Yeah.
Like, what has he done since then?
Yeah, he's
Built her
pining for her.
a
I
love
guess.
nest? Big fucking deal.
Yeah.
Like, fix some radios, do something. Like,
Oh my god.
Yeah.
God almighty.
To the
He
greater
does
good. Yeah.
tend to just throw everything away for the woman that he cares about.
Oh, that's
You know,
true. That's his pattern,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's his
But he
thing.
makes Shannon tolerable.
He does.
She's better. She's better with him for sure.
And have you noticed that her hair is not like perfect anymore?
Yeah.
It doesn't look like it's been freshly blow dried. You know?
She's given into island life.
Yeah.
Just gotten a little wild.
Yeah.
But they still have razors at least.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
So they're being all giggly and cute, but he gets up and he puts on his pants and he's like, I'm going to be right back. And so she's left in the love shack by herself. And then there's like a noise and a breeze comes through. And she says, that was quick. And she looked up thinking that it was going to be Sayid, but it is a soaking wet Walt. And he's whispering something unintelligible. And so she screams. And then we get the Lost title screen.
That's a creepy scene, by the way. Like when they show him up close. Like that's kind of like when I saw that.
The way they do the water is crazy.
Yeah,
well, so it's like I think we were talking last episode about how like when you see the feet walking by,
that frame rate,
right? Like they played around with something. You can tell that it doesn't look natural. They're doing something with the water on Walt too. Like I don't know if they have it in reverse and it's extra special shiny, and they definitely are playing with what you're seeing at that point.
And the audio as well,
Yeah, right.
I just imagine that what he's really saying is, they're all going to laugh at you.
They're all going to laugh at you. No! Wow, that takes me back.
Oh, boy.
So Shannon's standing on the beach. Sayid runs out of the jungle and he's like, there's nobody there. It was a dream. She's upset and she's like, I know what I saw. So, he goes in the tent and he's like, I was only gone for a few minutes and there's nobody here. So she gets pissed off. She's yelling at him.
Shannon, maybe I just blew your mind.
Oh my God.
I just fucked you silly.
Yeah.
He's probably good in bed, Sayid.
I bet he is. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yep. Yeah. That's how I fantasize about it. So that's what's true.
That's what's true.
Exactly.
Okay. Good for you.
I'm with Lacy on that one. He's definitely fuckable.
Yeah, at least you didn't say that was quick whenever he was done.
I see where the Republican Guard didn't train you.
Oh God. No, he's just a generous lover, Sayid.
Yeah. I believe that he's a giver.
Oh, he gave all right.
Yeah, I feel like he's a giver.
He's just torturing that pussy.
Oh my God. That was good.
I haven't laughed this hard since the ugly kid.
Oh man.
That might be the result.
Oh man.
Oh God. Oh.
Amazing. Someone gets laid on the island. Holy crap.
Oh my God, I'm dying.
All right. So Shannon's pissed off. She's yelling that it wasn't a dream. Charlie walks up and he's like, what's going on? And Sayid tells him it's nothing. Shannon just had a dream. And she walks off and she's pissed. So Sayid follows her. Claire is holding Aaron and she walks up to Charlie to ask him what happened. And he's like, well, Shannon had a nightmare. Why is the baby awake?
Oh,
she's really clueless about what to do with a child.
Yeah, but still. So
Charlie is continuing his run of being an insufferable shit, though.
Yes, he is.
So he
does kind of scold her.
Yeah. She tells him that she woke Aaron up because she heard screams, and he's like, so you woke up the baby when you heard screams and ran towards them.
Yeah.
He's clearly annoyed.
Kind of he does have sort of like a point there, though.
He does, but still, it's not your fucking kid. You have
he's pretty condescending to her in this.
Yeah, he's kind of a dick about the whole situation. Yeah. He's annoyed with her, and he's like, now he's going to need to be fed. He'll be up all night. He's going to be fussy all day. And Claire apologizes to him, and he's like, well, whatever, give him here. And he takes the baby from her. And I made a note. I said, "Well, Charlie has a point. It's not his fucking baby." So
yeah.
So Shannon is fleeing the love tent with her bag.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
Hang on. Like about that. I want to focus on that for just like 1 second because we get more into it in the episode when Claire is talking to Locke. But like Charlie, he has just sort of like assumed responsibility for this child. And it's like, I wonder why. Like, what is his motivation here to do this? Does he just like Claire? Is he trying to make amends for something? Is he like, what is his deal? Why is he like de facto dad?
I think that he just needs something. You know, like something. He can't make music.
He's not a part of the A team.
Yeah,
that's like, true. He's always at the kids' table.
He's not a part of the A team.
To do. Yeah, he needs something to do. And and he, you know, he was trying to go after every fucking woman on the island back in season 1. So
that's true.
Now he's got Claire, and while they haven't,
but I think his feelings, like his relationship with Claire seems genuine, though.
Oh, sure. Think? Yeah, but some guys are just what I would call a girlfriend guy. You know, like some guys just have to be hooked up with a girlfriend. You know,
codependent.
Yeah, so Charlie is a girlfriend guy. Well, it seems like
that's Sayid too, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Accepted.
Okay.
Not Locke. He's the opposite.
So Shannon is running off into the jungle. Sayid asks her to come back so they can talk about it. And she's like, "Do you believe me?" And he kind of just stares at her and she's like, "I know what I saw." So she storms off and we get into flashback number 1. I don't think it's unreasonable for him to think that she's having a nightmare, though, right? Like, it's not unreasonable.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's definitely more believable than Walt was there, and then magically he wasn't. That said, if you look at her when she's leaving the tent, it looks like she has her like she has her bag with her. What she actually has is Sayid's nutsack.
Oh my God.
Okay, so we move into flashback number 1, and there are a bunch of young girls in leotards, and they're doing their pliés, and Shannon's their instructor, and she's, you know, correcting the girls and asking to see certain moves from certain girls, and one of the girls says, "Did my papa see me?" And they
so sad.
Yeah, they both turn to look at Papa, who is clearly not paying attention because he is whispering into the other instructor's ear.
So creepy. Ugh.
Yeah, gross. Gross. So Shannon, you know, lies to the young girl and she's like, "Yeah, I think your papa saw you." Class is dismissed. Everybody's left, and the other instructor tells Shannon that the father asked her to be their au pair. And they kind of giggle at how gross the whole thing is, and they're mocking his accent. "Oh, excuse me, I didn't know you were in the shower."
Yeah.
Exactly where it's going.
Exactly.
What does au pair mean?
Au pair, it's a live-in nanny, but they live with the family.
Got it.
You basically give them room and board and some salary. And they live with you full time, take care of your kids, and then like their off hours, you know, when you have your children. It's for very wealthy people.
Yep.
Got it.
And in their off hours, the au pairs go to bars and don't fucking tip Americans.
Oh, she's dropping some bartender knowledge on us.
Yeah, no, at a couple of places that I worked, cocktailing and bartending, there were a bunch of au pairs that would come in, and I'm like, fuck, I'm not going to get a tip off these bitches.
Well, what it is they don't tip over there because bartenders make a living salary.
Yeah.
Like when I went to London, they were like surprised when I tipped. I'm like, "No, that's what we do."
Yeah.
Yes, but
y'all don't make $2.13 an hour.
You probably went to London knowing that it's not necessarily expected of you there. They came here.
I still do it.
They came here knowing that it was fucking expected. And they still didn't fucking do
if you're,
it. So,
anyway. If you live in the culture,
they probably didn't learn
where
to speak American either.
That's right.
Oh God.
American, fuck yeah.
All right.
back in ballet class, Shannon's phone rings. She answers it, and you hear a woman's voice say, "Shannon, your father's been in an accident. I'll meet you at the hospital." And so back at the hospital, Shannon is standing next to a tall blonde woman, and a doctor comes over and says, "Mrs. Rutherford." She turns around with a panicked look, and you see Jack Shepherd walk past them in the background.
Yup.
So
with the bad wig.
The wig,
with the bad hair,
the bad wig.
Yeah.
Yep.
So who's this guy?
Right.
That was killed.
So this doctor asks, let's walk down the hall. They're following him, and she asks, how's my husband? And the doctor basically says he was in a head-on collision with an SUV.
That's when I
He
knew.
suffered. Yep.
That's
he suffered
when you knew
massive
what?
internal injuries and stopped breathing at the accident site. So this is the accident that was caused by Jack's future wife.
Yes, that's
Right.
when I
so
realized.
you got that right away, Derek?
Yep, right when he said the SUV.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Because we knew that Jack, in that moment in the ER, had made a decision to work on the woman and not the
Right.
man. And
And
Shannon's
work on
dad
her,
died.
he did, man.
He sure
He did,
did.
boy.
sure. Right. So, so Mr. Rutherford has died. They're devastated and in shock. And they ask to see the body, and the doctor asks, does your daughter want to come? And she's like, "Oh, that's my stepdaughter."
Bitch.
Oh.
Yeah, she has
That's
to.
an
In that
appropriate
moment. Right. She's got to point that out. You know that
Yeah.
this is going
I hate
downhill
this
from
woman.
here.
I hate this woman.
We're back on the island where it's the morning of day 48. Mr. Echo and Ana Lucia are, walking around, and she asks him how much further to the other survivors camp. He's like, a day, maybe more, maybe less. I mean, I don't fucking know. They don't know where the camp is. This is a stupid question. They're all walking around, and Sawyer falls to the ground. Libby tries to help him out, and he's like, "No, I'm fine." And
Have you noticed? I want to notice in the scene, Libby, I think, is the only character in this show whose skin shows that she's been out in the sun. When you look at everybody else, they almost look always perfect. And with her, she actually looks like she's been in the sun, like she's sunburned and flushed. And she looks like the only person that actually would look like everyone else on the island should look like after 40 some days and roughing it.
Okay, so outside of the show, apparently the lady who plays Libby and the lady who plays Ana Lucia, the two of them partied pretty fucking hard when they got to Hawaii.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
And
this is like rumors? Like,
no. One of them got a DUI.
Oh.
And I'm pretty sure Michelle
Did they
Rodriguez
get in trouble with the show?
Uh-huh. And I'm pretty sure Michelle Rodriguez is confirmed bisexual, and apparently her and Libby got it on.
This is amazing.
Well, I mean,
confirmed bisexual.
Confirmed.
Confirmed.
Like there's videos
it's in the fucking permanent record. This shit is confirmed.
Hot.
I'm just saying, I'm not speculating. I'm pretty sure that it was confirmed that this is the situation.
I am also a confirmed bisexual.
Well, so am I, but I don't want to label someone who I'm not sure. And
is there an unconfirmed bisexual?
I don't know.
Probably.
I don't know. Something about the phrasing tickled me. Whatever.
Giggity.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, there was
bisexual.
Yeah, there was real drama on the island where Libby and Ana Lucia were concerned. And so it doesn't really surprise me that Libby looks a little kind of like I was out partying and didn't wear sunscreen. And I don't know.
Oh, because maybe she was actually out partying and not wearing sunscreen?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to have to explore these rumors further. Stay tuned. I'm going to look this stuff up for our pre-show.
That's a really fun fact.
Yes.
All right.
Okay. So Libby is asking Sawyer about his shoulder. He's like, it's fine. He asks her if she's a doctor, and she says that she's a clinical psychologist. And he's like, maybe you should talk at my shoulder. So he kind of laughs a little, and she asks him how he got shot, and he goes, with a gun.
Yes.
Oh my God, Sawyer.
Love it.
Yeah. So Michael tells her that he got shot when they took Walt. So,
fucking shtick to the end. He'll be doing shtick till the moment he dies.
His headstone will
I
just
feel
be
like this was a moment when Michael said he got shot when they took Walt. I feel like this was a moment where Michael was saying, he was trying to
save Walt.
Protect.
Yeah.
So,
I got that too.
Yeah, absolutely. Because previously Michael had kind of blamed Sawyer.
That's right.
For Walt being taken.
Out in the water.
And then you see Sawyer, he kind of looks down, kind of like, oh, you kind of blew my cover. I'm actually kind of a softie.
Yeah.
So, he tries to hide it because he sees that as weakness.
Yeah.
Because being a con man, right? Being a con man, that's what you look for, is for people's vulnerabilities to take advantage of them.
Yep.
So from his point of view, that's a weakness that gives somebody power.
Yeah. So Sawyer asks Libby if his shoulder looks bad, and she goes, "Yeah, it's bad, but it's not real bad."
Okay.
I don't know what that means.
In your professional opinion,
just want to stick a Prozac in there.
Oh my God.
I guess she's a clinical psychologist, not a psychiatrist.
Yeah, she's not a psychiatrist, but whatever.
Right. So,
but I think he called her a shrink, though.
Yeah.
Well,
Sawyer called her shrink.
Can you only call psychiatrists shrinks? I thought that was just any. Oh, okay.
I don't know. All right, moving right along.
Oh my God.
Hurley and Rose are on the beach and they're hanging up laundry. And he's like, "Well, why are we doing this? There's a dryer." She's like, "I don't like the hatch." And he asks if it's because of the doomsday button.
Well,
yeah. And she's like, "I don't need a dryer. I have sun and fresh air." So she tells Hurley they shouldn't, spoil themselves. And he laughs a little. Yeah. Shannon comes up and she's like, "Do you know where Michael and Walt's things are from, what they left behind?" And Hurley points her in the right direction. And Rose is like, "Poor thing. It can't be easy losing the one person you love on the island." So Shannon takes Vincent over to where Walt and Michael's stuff is. And she has Vincent sniff Walt's clothes like a bloodhound.
So
like,
stupid.
what the fuck are you doing?
Vincent is not a bloodhound. He's a bloodthirsty dog, but he's not a bloodhound.
That's true.
He consumes humans, but
exactly.
Is that Vincent?
God.
So she's talking to the dog, and she's like, "You're always trying to run off and find him. So fucking find him. Find Walt."
She was really shoving the clothes in the dog's face. The
dog
was getting annoyed.
A little overwhelming, if from the dog's point of view.
Dog wasn't happy.
No,
especially with his dirty underwear.
Ew.
So like, I'm not a bloodhound, lady. What the
Seriously,
fuck?
I'm not a bloodhound, and that shit stinks.
Yeah, nasty. Jesus. So Vincent takes off into the jungle, and Shannon's right behind him. And Vincent takes her to Boone's grave.
Oh,
so
fucking power move on Vincent's part.
Yep.
Jesus Christ.
Seriously. And when they show up, Boone's grave is empty.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh God.
That's not really how it goes.
No, but it would be cool if there was a zombie or two on the island.
Booth
zombies.
I died as Boone. I was re-erected as Booth. You will bow to the eyebrows.
Oh my God.
Wow.
All right. So we have Claire comforting Aaron because he's crying. And she's like, "Oh my God, I woke him up in the middle of the night. It's all my fault." Locke comes over and he says, "How's the cradle?" And she's like, "It's great. The baby sucks."
Oh my God.
Yeah. So Locke puts Aaron in a swaddle and he explains to Claire that babies like the feeling of being constricted. It's only
Is that really
later,
true?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, because they're used to the womb. It simulates the womb.
Yeah, it's such a small confined space. So when you swaddle them really tightly, they feel comforted and safe.
Mm-hmm.
So he says, it's only later in life that we develop a desire to be free. And he's able to stop Aaron from crying.
You could never find skinny jeans for infants.
What the fuck?
True.
Seems like a lost opportunity for me.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
I feel like if you shop at Old Navy,
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
Everything
Clara
is skinny
section,
jeans
for
maybe.
kids. Yeah, definitely skinny jeans for kids.
Yeah.
It's gotta be.
Although that probably wouldn't work well with a diaper.
No.
No, probably not.
Skinny diaper.
No.
No, you could still do skinny legs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, he puts the baby in a swaddle. The baby stops crying.
Fuck are we even
And
talking
Claire's
about?
like,
What?
everybody knows more about this baby than I do.
No, she says
Yes,
my
Claire,
baby.
that's
She says
obvious,
everyone
like-
knows more about my baby than
Yeah,
she does.
my baby.
It's like, no,
Yeah.
everyone knows more about babies than you do.
Yeah,
It
just
has nothing to
babies
do with
in
your
general,
baby.
Claire. It's like she's
I think
never
they-
heard of a baby before. It's weird.
I think they just wanted her to say my baby in this episode because that's like
My baby.
That's like, my baby, like all the time.
Yeah, and then Locke is like, everybody, and she starts telling him about how Charlie, kind of went off on her in the middle of the night, and even though it made her really mad, Charlie was right.
Mhm.
So, she's like, we're playing mom and dad, and I don't remember marrying him. And Locke laughs, and she's like, I don't know, Charlie could be some religious freak, and he's like, I doubt it. She's like, then why is he carrying around a Virgin Mary statue?
Oh,
Uh-oh.
Yeah. And she's like, Charlie said he found it in the jungle. And Locke is like,
Oh,
How about
did he?
that?
how about that?
in
Yeah.
his lock ways.
Right.
Mhm.
So Shannon's sitting by Boone's grave, staring at the cross that they had built. And we get into flashback number 2. So Shannon is at the funeral. Of course, she looks devastated, walks over to his casket, and she hears behind her, "Death sucks, doesn't it?" And here comes Boone and his eyebrows.
Boone
I
is
want to
back.
say real quick. We were talking about it in the last episode about empty platitudes when people say, "Hey, they went to a better place," or "Everything happens for a reason," or "thoughts and prayers," or any of that bullshit. I like this is one of my favorite things Boone
I do
says.
too.
Is it's just like
Death
death
sucks,
sucks,
doesn't
it?
It's 100% true because I know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you can't
Yeah,
really
it does
say
suck.
anything to anybody. It just fucking
Yeah,
sucks.
that's true. Yeah,
Yeah,
we
whenever
should-
anybody like posts on Facebook, oh, this person in my life died or whatever, I'm like, sometimes I'll comment and I'll be like, there's nothing I can say that's going to make you feel any better. But
I did
love
it for
you.
my mother for a while. I stopped. I'm like, fuck it. I don't care. Nothing anyone can say can change it. So why even post it? I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
brings
Yeah.
back. But Facebook keeps reminding me every fucking year.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
You can delete
Does
that
that.
or block that
I
memory.
guess I could.
think.
Yeah, I need
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
Or it's called something else now, not Facebook. What are they called now?
Meta.
Oh, Meta.
Ugh.
Whatever.
That's a whole
It's
nother
still
tangent.
Facebook. It's just like now they're under the Meta umbrella or something.
Back at the funeral.
Like that.
Back at
Yeah.
the funeral.
My God, seriously, I'd rather be at a funeral than talk about that.
All right, so Boone has surprised Shannon. She runs up and hugs him. Boone's mom, Sabrina, looks on disapprovingly. And now we move on, and Boone and Shannon are in her bedroom.
I think it's
Preview.
Sabrina. There's Sabrina the teenage witch. This is Sabrina the middle-aged bitch.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yep. That's
Yep.
dead on.
absolutely.
Dead
so,
on.
so Boone is pouring alcohol into a tea set, like a little girl's tea set.
Hmm. Out of a dollhouse.
Yeah. And he's like, "Where's your Marky Mark poster?" And she's like, "I'm 18, Boone, but
Is it
you
the one
still
from
got
Boogie
your
Nights?
fucking tea set."
Right. I'm 18, but you're drinking out of my dollhouse.
What
Anyway.
18-year-old drinks fucking scotch? Is this a rich person thing I'm not aware of?
Yeah, it's
Gotta
got to
be.
be.
I don't think even an 18-year-old rich person, they're still probably drinking, maybe
I
not Boone's Farm or Mad Dog.
Some Mad
but-
Dog, yeah.
Mad
Right,
Dog.
but they're
God.
drinking something nasty.
Yeah.
I didn't really start drinking until my 20s anyway. It was just beer.
Yeah, me too.
I drank a lot
I
of
mean, we used to go
schnapps.
drinking together, so
As a teenager, I drank a lot of schnapps. It's
Oh,
disgusting.
God.
schnapps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus.
It's
Did you grow up in
sugary,
the
it's
Rhineland?
sweet.
Sure. Yeah.
Or you could
Oh,
drink
my
a bottle of Colt 45.
Oh,
my
God, works
God.
every time.
Yep.
Okay, so there used to be a Colt 45 factory, like 3 exits
yeah, in
down the
Baltimore.
Beltway away from me.
Yeah.
And for my prom, my junior year, my boyfriend at the time chose his tux because they have all these like tables set out preparing for prom. And one of the tables had tuxedos that you could rent, like pamphlets of tuxedos. So he opens this pamphlet of tuxedos and he sees Billy D in a tux. And he was like, that's it. That's my tux. I'm wearing that tux and put a Colt 45 in this pocket.
Oh my God.
45 in that pocket. So shout out. Hey, Anthony. I know you're not listening, but whatever.
Oh my God. That was a wild fucking ride.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Yeah. I've been drinking wine. So
I
let's
can
move
tell.
on. All right. So they're drinking scotch.
Like rich kids do.
Yeah. So Shannon thinks that, Sabrina's going to freak out if she finds out that they're drinking. And he's like, I don't care. Here's scotch. Cheers to your dad. Then he hands her a cigarette. So he's clearly a bad influence on her.
Yeah. Good grief, man.
Yeah. So he's like,
grooming her.
Yeah.
Ew.
Now, how old is he? Do we know?
He's
Not
like
much
2
older.
2 years older than
2
her,
years.
I think.
Yeah. So,
Because remember when they met, they were 8 and 10, I think.
That's right.
yes.
That's right.
So he's like, maybe you'll come visit me in New York. And she says, I'm hoping to live there if I can land an internship. And there's apparently a 1 in 3,000 chance. And, he's supportive of her dream and he wants to know if Shannon and Sabrina are speaking. And Shannon says, she's doing her thing. I'm doing my thing. She's always hated me because of my relationship with my father is basically what Shannon says.
So, yeah, I mean, it sounds like Sabrina was jelly.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
she's a jelly bitch from day one, apparently.
Yeah.
Send her to the jelly school. So, on the island, the backenders, Jen, Sawyer, Michael, and the backenders are walking along a rocky shore. Sawyer's struggling, and Echo is like, we need to take a break. And Lucia's like, all right, 5 minutes. Echo looks over the water, and he's like, we've got to go inland. And she's like, no, that's where the others are. And, Echo
This
realizes...
shot of them, like, standing on the edge of the kind of, like, cliff there and the waves and everything, like, it just looked amazing. I thought it was a great scene, the way they shot it.
Yeah, well shot, for sure.
I mean, tactically, you have to ask the question, if the others wanted to kill them all in one fell swoop, having them right there on the shores would be the way to do it.
Yep.
Just push
because
them into
there's
the
no
ocean.
cover whatsoever.
There's nowhere to go. So I argue with Anna Lucia's tactical reasoning there.
Bitch.
Oh my God.
So she's arguing that, the others, the I don't know, the midsection. What are we calling the original survivors?
The originals.
Okay.
That was okay.
Okay. So Anna's like, well, the originals that have a camp on the beach, we need to stick to the shore. And he's like, no, it's going to be rocky. We can't do that. And she's like, I think you're just trying to get through the jungle so that we can get the cowboy back quicker. She's like, you'd risk our lives to help him. And he's like, it's the only way I know.
Yeah.
And
he can't help
when
himself.
he says it's the only way I know, I don't, he's clearly not speaking about physically. It's the only way I know. It's that being the good person, going out of your way to do something nice for someone is the only way that he knows. That's just who Echo is.
I think for me, it's like he gravitates toward the weak. Like he seems to kind of go amongst like the weakest link, and he's just there as a support. You notice that?
Yeah,
like if it's Michael
like
or if
a
it's
metaphorical
Jen.
or spiritual support
kind
of thing with him. So
yeah. Hey, Ben.
Yeah, babe?
Got any special occasions coming up that you need a card for?
Is this a trick question?
No, it's an advertisement.
Is this about barbcards.com again?
Bingo.
So I suppose you're going to remind me that each handmade card is only $1.50.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't come with busy backgrounds or flowery poetry.
You got it. Barbcards.com offers to-the-point communication within several different categories, including our favorite, potty mouth. And if you can't find what you want, barbcards.com can do customizations.
Can I still get all of my cards for no more than $4 shipping, no matter the size of the order?
You know it. Barbcards.com has got all you need. Hey, Ben.
Oh my God, what are we selling now?
Merch.
Our merch?
Yes, sir. Shirts, coffee mugs, wine tumblers, bottle openers, stickers, magnets, and more. Your choice of product and your choice of Space Bear Media graphic from any of our podcasts.
Please tell me we're not making merch now, too.
Of course not. We'll stick to podcasts, and Pixis Products will do the rest.
Thank God. I bet you have more to say, though.
Sure do. Pixis Products is a small business run by a local mom, well, local to us anyway, who needed something else to do besides being a snack bitch.
What?
A snack bitch, also known as a mom with a young child.
There's still more, isn't there?
Yepers! Pixis Products works with other small businesses for supplies, art, and other collaborations at every opportunity, including ours. In fact, Pixis Products even gave Space Bear Media our own storefront on their site. You can find us at shopspacebear.com.
Say what?
You heard me. Go to shopspacebear.com and buy something.
Yes. So now we're back with Claire. Erin's quiet. She's like, I can't believe he's still sleeping. And Locke is like, swaddling. And she offers to let Locke hold Erin. And he's like, no. And then she insists. And he sniffs his
Hold out your
head.
arms.
He did.
Yeah.
He sniffed the kid's head because babies smell
what the
delicious.
hell?
Babies' heads.
Oh, they smell good.
Unless they've
That's
got
true.
cradle cap, you want to smell a baby's head.
What about when their diaper's dirty?
Well, I didn't say
No, that's
sniff
not their
its
head.
ass.
It's not their head.
I mean, sometimes you have to sniff their ass to check. You're just like, oh yeah, clearly. Gonna give
that's
this one back
true,
to
I
its
guess.
mom.
Yeah.
Give
Yeah,
this one
exactly.
back. Yours stinks.
Yes. So Charlie walks up. Claire is showing him about the swaddling, and he's like, well, I'm here to take him so that you can go have your walk. They're all staring at each other. Charlie takes the baby. Claire thanks Locke. Charlie stares at Claire. Locke walks away, and she's like, what? Because Charlie's still looking at her.
It's a weird, awkward, moment.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. So now the back end group is slowly walking through the jungle. Libby steps on a branch, makes a sound, and she gets shushed.
And all the shushes are louder than the actual stick breaking.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They make
Jin
more
is
noise
loudly
telling each
speaking
other.
Korean.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. He's talking to Sawyer, and Sawyer's like, I'm fine. And Anna's like, shut up. And Michael's like, why can't we talk? She says, if you talk, it'll get us all killed. And Michael was like, what are you afraid of? What happened to you?
Finally.
Yeah. And she's like, finally she responds with something concrete. She's like, they came the first night that we got here and they took 3 of us. Then nothing happened for 2 weeks. And they came back and took 9 more. They're smart
What?
and they're animals and they could be anywhere at any time. She's
Okay,
like,
then.
What?
we're in the jungle to save your cowboy. So everybody needs to shut up and keep moving. and Michael's like, they took my son.
Yeah, Michael,
and
we
she's
know.
like, yeah,
we know.
Oh my
they took a lot of
God.
things.
Yeah,
Let's move
seriously. We got it, Michael. We know.
Yes.
God
Walt is
damn it.
gone. They
You
got
need-
him. We know.
You need another fucking line, dude.
So now we're back with Shannon, and she is hanging out with Vincent by Boone's grave. Sayid comes over and sits next to her. And, he's like, I know what it's like to lose someone too. And she's upset because she thinks it's about Boone.
Well, she's upset because he thinks it's about Boone.
Right. Sorry.
Yeah.
No, he thought it was about a neuter.
Oh my God. Yeah. So Shannon's upset because Sayid thinks it's about Boone. That's not what it's about for her. It's about the fact that Sayid doesn't believe her. And she's like, I saw Walt. I know what I saw. And, he asks, well, then why are we at Boone's grave? And she just walks away and she's like, just go back. I'm going to go find
fucking
Walt.
dog, because this fucking dog is a smart ass. That's why we're at Boone's grave.
She actually says, go back, Sayid. And he said, I tried to go backside. You weren't having it. So that's what started this whole thing.
Oh
just
my
wait until
God.
the backenders get there.
Yeah, I know.
All right. Flashback number 3. Shannon's in her apartment, and her roommate comes in with the letter that Shannon's been waiting for about the internship. So they're like, you open. No, you open it. So finally Shannon opens the envelope and she's like, I got it. And they both start screaming and jumping up and down. And her roommate's like, you're going to New York. So the phone rings. Shannon answers and she listens for a second. And then she's like, that's impossible. Are you sure? She hangs up and she tells her roommate that her rent check bounced. And her roommate's like, but you're like rich.
It's exactly how she says it too. But you're like rich.
Yeah. So Shannon is like hanging out in a large fancy room and Sabrina walks in. She's like, I'm sorry, but I have to leave for a meeting. Shannon's like, my checks are bouncing. When am I going to get the money from Dad's will? And Sabrina tells her that there is no will.
Ugh, stupid father.
They had a living trust and it all passed to her.
Ugh.
Yep. She tells Shannon, you're going to have to work like most people. And Shannon's like, I got this internship. It's important. I'm going to be working 16 hours a day, but I need some money to get to New York. And Sabrina's like, nope. Shannon begs her and she's
cold,
like, I
man.
can do this. And Sabrina says, I'm sorry, Shannon. You're on your own.
Bitch.
She's taken out like
Personally-
all of her fucking grief all over
Oh my
Shannon. Holy
I would be
moly.
getting a lawyer and I'd be contesting the fact that there is no will. She is still his daughter. So
Doesn't matter though if there's no
so
the living trust trumps it.
put a pin in that, because we will be talking about the difference between a will and a living trust at the end of this episode.
Okay.
Ah.
Mm.
All right. Fun facts. All right. We're back with Locke and Charlie and they're playing backgammon. Locke rolls a double 6. Charlie's like, how nice for you. And Locke apologizes to Charlie for possibly overstepping with Claire, which makes my blood boil because why would you
Overstepping
go to Charlie?
what? Yeah,
Yeah.
like you're not the father.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Charlie's like, did she tell you that we had a fight? And Locke's like, well, that's not how she described it.
Oh my God, this is so juvenile. Like, what is even
so
happening
dumb.
here?
So then Charlie's like, well, she was going to give him up, and Locke's like, yeah, I know. But now we're here. So whatever. And Charlie, of all people, says that Claire has a lot to learn about responsibility. And Locke is like, well, that's funny coming from a heroin, addict.
Bam.
Also,
Yeah, and Charlie's like,
low blow,
recovering,
but
but
okay.
Once an addict, you're an addict.
Well, he knows about the statue, so
Yeah.
Right.
That
Yeah,
too.
that's where he's pushing him.
yep.
So the backenders are walking around and Jen is helping Sawyer walk. Michael's
They
trying
are
to
walking
help.
really, really loud too. Like Echo's like slashing stuff out of the way. I kept thinking like
They're in really tall grass, and they're like, he's
I kept thinking
cutting
the
through
others
it.
were going to come out, and one of them was like, "The hick was breathing so loud we could have shot him in the dark."
Is that their accent?
I don't know.
We don't know.
It's Lord of the
You'll have
Rings.
to wait
know.
and find out. Yeah. So yeah, they're walking around in the tall grasses. Michael's trying to help, and Sawyer's like, both of you should leave me alone. And he like steps away from them and then promptly collapses. Michael kneels beside him and puts Sawyer's head in his arms. And Michael's like, I would have left you behind. I did leave you behind. And Michael says, it's a good thing I'm not you.
Wow.
What is happening? Like it's like they gotta be digging at each other, or they're like cradling each other, and like what?
Yes, it's like a love-hate relationship.
I think this is a moment where Sawyer's like, you're a good person because I would not have done what you're doing. You know?
No, I mean, I get it. I'm talking about just like the two of them, how they've got to be either they're like bickering with each other or they're having this huge, big emotional moment. Like, it's just weird. It's like, it's a definite bromance in more ways than one, I feel like.
Yeah.
Anywho.
So Libby comes running up. Yeah.
Did you give him some? Did you hear what he said?
Oh my God.
Did you hear?
All right. I need wine.
Oh my God.
Like Brokeback Black Rock Mountain.
Oh my God.
What was that?
But Sawyer has the accent, so he's already got that down.
Michael comes up and says, why can't I quit you?
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Okay, moving right along. Michael's trying to revive Sawyer. Jen yells for water. Libby runs up. They give him some water. And Libby's like, he has an infection. He's got a fever. He's dehydrated. And Anna wants to keep moving. They argue a little bit, but the other backenders, apparently don't want to upset Anna. And they're like, do you remember what happened to us? She asks them. Do you remember Goodwin? Libby's clearly upset about Goodwin.
Mm-hmm.
Cindy says Anna's right. They need to move. And Michael asks Mr. Echo and Bernard if they'll help make a stretcher. And they all agree. So now we're back to Shannon and Sayid.
They kind of they sort of overrule Anna. As a group. They're just like, no, we're not leaving him behind.
Yeah, we're not leaving the redneck behind. Yeah. We're going to build a stretcher and we're going to take him back to his people.
Yeah, she just kind of has to deal with it.
Yes. So Shannon and Sayid are now walking through tall grass. She's pissed off because he's following her and he's yelling at her that Walt is not out there. He's like, you're following a Labrador, not a bloodhound.
I mean, not wrong.
Yeah. I mean, is Walt a bird? No? Okay. Bad move.
Dear God, please make me a bird so I can fly.
He can kill birds.
Far away from here.
He can kill birds. That's right. Oh,
yes.
No, that's right. Like with his mind.
Yep.
Mind powers.
Oh my God. We are so off track. What is happening?
Yeah. So Shannon tells Sayid, look, they found the bottle from the raft with the notes in it. Walt is on the island somewhere. I saw him. It's starting to thunder, and Sayid just keeps following her.
That's a really cool one. A really cool shot in this show, though, is where she's got she's got Vincent or whatever, and she's walking towards like the mountain, and in the background, like the skies are getting really, really stormy, and it's a almost like foreshadowing.
Oh yeah, you can tell something foreboding is brewing.
Yeah. Okay, so the backenders are walking along. Sawyer's in a stretcher, and they come to this place where they have to kind of go nearly straight up. So they all pitch in. They're struggling to get him up the hill, and they finally make it to the top and lay Sawyer down. Anna calls out to Cindy because Cindy hasn't gotten to the top of the hill yet, and they look over and Cindy's just fucking gone.
Bye.
What?
Yep. Bye, Cindy. Anna wants to go after her, and Echo's like, no, if we split up now, the others are going to get what they want.
That's kind of a reversal from last time.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, what do you mean?
He split up just to go off with Jen to find Michael, but
you would think he'd
Cindy,
go after her.
Not so much.
Right. Yeah. But in that aspect, I think he didn't feel like the others were like hunting them, and now I think that's what he's saying.
That's true.
Yeah.
Hunting. She's just gone. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So I think that's the difference.
Yeah, so Anna's all pissed off, and she blames Cindy's disappearance on Echo. And then you start to hear the whispering, and you can't tell what's being said, but you can hear whispering all around. And Michael's like, "What the hell is that?"
Ashnaz Gimbatul. Ashnaz Trakatuluk Akpursan Ishi Krimpatul.
Anna
Others
Lucia
actually
pulls
know the
out-
black speech of Mordor. I mean,
Yes.
Anna Lucia pulls out her gun, and she just starts kind of randomly pointing it.
Yeah, she's just swinging it around. That's cool.
Yeah, and Libby's like, "Oh my god!" And Anna says, "Run!"
Forrest.
So fucking stupid.
this foe is beyond any of you. Sorry, I'm just totally like Lord of the Rings
You're
out
all
right now.
Lord of the Rings.
I am.
So now we are in flashback number 4. Shannon's packing up her apartment, and Boone gets there, and he's like, "I wasn't able to get any money from my mom because I think she knew that I was going to give it to you." And Shannon's upset, but she's like, "Well, can I stay with you in New York for a while?" And Boone says, "I'm leaving New York because my mother offered me a job at her company. I run a business."
Mm-hmm. She's so clearly manipulating the situation to like
you can tell
Shannon
Sabrina
over.
did this on purpose. Yeah. Boone tries to give Shannon some money, and she's like, "No, I'm good. I'm going to figure it out on my own." And he's like, "Well, you can't do this." And she's like, "You don't think I can do it?" And he just stares at her, and she screams at him to go, and that she doesn't want his money. So now we're back on the island.
Boy, didn't she change her tune?
Seriously.
Yeah.
So now we're back on the island. It's raining. Shannon's running through the jungle looking for Walt, and she trips and falls, and Sayid is running after her, and he stops to try and help her, and she's like,
she goes flat on her
"Help me."
fucking face. It was hilarious.
Bam. Yeah.
Yes,
She did that
yes.
before.
Yeah.
That got me kind of semi-flaccid when that happened.
So Saeed's trying to get Shannon to go back to the love shack. And she's like, "Why don't you believe me? I need you to believe me." She says nobody ever believes in her. And that people think she's worthless. And he says, "You're not worthless." And she says, "You're just going to leave me when we get out of here. You're just going to leave me." And she's sobbing.
And Said's like, "Well, we're never getting out of here. So with limited options, you're my one and only."
Move on. Can we stop the drama? We're not going anywhere.
Well, I mean, she's just absolutely sobbing because she thinks that when they get rescued, Said's going to leave her. And,
I think her emotions are real, and they're understandable. I just can't I can't be on Shannon's side fully because I've just had such distaste for her from the beginning.
Yeah. Well, Sayid disagrees with you. And he lovingly touches her face, and he's like, "I will never leave you. I love you, and I believe you."
What?
He dropped the L word.
And so I started crying. They embrace, and then you start hearing the whispers.
What?
So
Okay, I won't do it again.
Sayid sees something over Shannon's shoulder. She turns, and it's Walt who's putting his finger up, to say shh. She says, "Do you see him?" And Sayid,
Do you see?
Yeah, and Sayid nods, and he's like, clearly got a shocked look on his face because he fucking sees Walt. So Shannon gets up and she's screaming Walt's name because we don't have anybody else running around the island screaming Walt.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so she takes off running after him. Sayid finally gets up.
He sits there for a bit. Yeah, kind of surprised.
He was shocked.
Because he's in shock. Like, wait a second, she really did see. Like, what the fuck is happening here? Yeah,
he's in shock because he just saw Walt too.
Yeah.
Sayid, he trips over something, and as he's getting up, you hear bang.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh shit!
Someone's shot.
So
there's a gunshot.
Just kidding. That was my climax.
And
my
he starts
aforementioned
screaming Shannon's name, and he's running towards the noise. And as he runs up to her, she turns around, and you can see blood on her abdomen, and her face is pale.
Oh.
And she starts to fall over, and he catches her and slowly lowers her to the ground, and her eyes roll back in her head.
Oh, no.
And he holds her, and he's screaming, no! And then he looks up to see the backenders, and motherfucking Ana Lucia holding a gun.
Uh-oh.
Jen and Michael are, like, absolutely horrified.
Yep.
Ana Lucia is just kind of standing there staring, and Sayid is clearly enraged.
Oh, that
her.
look on his face.
Oh, the look on his face.
He looks like he was starting to stand up, like he was going to kick some ass.
And then we have the end of we have the lost title screen. It's the end of the episode, and I am sobbing.
Oh,
yeah, that was an episode.
So it's the back end. You know, they come up, and the first thing that they hear is bang. Does that mean that it was the back end gangbang?
Oh my God! How long you been holding?
You did refer
that
to them
one?
as the back. I wasn't. But you referred to him earlier as the back end gang. So
the back end gang.
Yeah. That was,
whew, is everybody okay?
Shannon actually started turning on me, like I didn't hate her as much.
Yeah,
well, yeah,
because what happened with that horrible
Sayid brought out
stepmother.
the best in her.
Yeah,
yeah, it's true.
Well, that's what they try to do. They try to, redeem them enough. Well,
before
we'll
they
talk
kill
a little
him.
more about that. Yeah, exactly.
Or allegedly kill him. She's not dead yet.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it could always just be a hallucinogen.
Yeah, that's true.
Fucking Locke has like weaponized it and turned it into an aerosol, and everyone's just having like bad trips.
What's he like, the Scarecrow from Batman?
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
He's just like weaponizing psychedelics all over the island.
Yeah.
Oh fuck! All right. I mean, I'd keep you from getting bored, I guess.
I certainly would.
To know the difference between a will and a trust?
I would love to know.
Sure.
Let's do it.
So I can give you like some specifics, but I'm going to break it down really, really simply. Having a living trust basically gets you to skirt probate laws, and your assets pass immediately to someone else as opposed to having to go through probate court. And so I think it's a way that rich people avoid
estate taxes.
Avoid. Yes, exactly. I think it's a way that they pass money on in a fancy way. But what you were saying,
scotch.
Right? But Derek was correct in what he was saying before. A living trust will trump a will. And they're like almost unbreakable. That like you can't even touch them in court.
Yeah. They're hardcore.
Yeah. And everything just like passes essentially immediately into whoever the trustee was. Now, having said that, had he wanted to, her father could have named her also as a trustee and had a portion set aside for her. So it's still a slight that was not the case. But had there been a will, it really wouldn't have mattered because this would trump it.
Got it.
Yeah.
So Shannon's dad was also a fucking asshole.
He was. I don't know why.
Yeah,
he did
well,
that.
either that or he was completely fooled. He had no idea that his wife hated his daughter. We don't really know which.
That probably happens a lot.
He had to know.
How do you know?
Stepmother.
If he had a really close relationship with his daughter, if she was jealous of their relationship because they were so close, don't you think he would at least read that? It's just hard for me to believe that.
I mean, if she hid it,
I mean, would she have told him? You think she would have told him?
Having seen a similar situation in my family where there's a stepmother who's jealous of a daughter, like I can tell you that shit's plainly visible to a lot of people.
Huh. All right. Okay. You win that battle. Anyways, that's the biggest difference. Like I did a bunch of reading about it, and there are a lot of intricacies and stuff, but from what I garnered, that's the biggest difference is avoiding probate court, essentially. So I'm reading it as some like upper class way to shelter
It's
money.
basically avoid estate taxes.
Yeah.
Because if you don't go through probate court, then they don't know how much you actually have.
Yeah.
Right. So, anywho's, it looks like something that rich people do. And it
Fucking
fucks
rich
Shannon
people.
over in the end.
Because I had to go through probate with my dad, even though I'm an only child, and there was a will, and you had to fill out this form, and every single asset that I got, I had to put on paper.
Right.
And went to court. Basically wasted $1,700.
Yeah.
It was just a procedure.
The state
But
has
you have
to
to have
get
an
their
attorney.
money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oof.
Yep.
Shall we talk about moments? How about you, Benjamin? What were your best and worst this week?
Again, my favorite moment was just something that Mr. Echo said when Ana Lucia said you'd risk our lives to help him, and he says it's the only way I know. Again, it's
Okay.
I just really something about him I really dig. And then, I mean, worst moment. I don't know. I mean, obviously Shannon getting her guts blown out sucks. On the other hand, I kind of like that because I've never liked her to begin with, but yeah, it's a bad way to see her go. But yeah, I mean, maybe probably when Shannon finds out that everything was in like a trust or whatever, and she goes and asks Sabrina for some help, and Sabrina's just, fucking bitch, man. Like she had taken everything that he had, added it to her coffers, and then, said, oh, well, you've got to work. It's like, well, you just stole basically all of this money.
Work like
you
me,
didn't
spread your
fucking work
legs.
for any of it. So yeah,
Well, you don't really know
Sabrina
what-
bitch.
Well, she
is the Martha Stewart of weddings.
yeah, like she
I
does
get it.
have her
I get
own
it.
money.
I get
so,
it.
I
I'm
mean,
not
I don't
saying
know
she
if
was
that's
stealing
fair.
it from. I'm not saying she was stealing it from him because she wasn't working. She already had a lot.
Yes.
I think,
She got
I think it's
all
not so
that
much
from
stealing.
him.
I mean, it's their assets. They were the married
I get
couple.
it.
It's their assets. But there's no reason for her to be so fucking cold to Shannon. And if Shannon had this opportunity, like just put her up in New York and then be like,
Yeah.
okay, after that, you're on your own. But
Yeah.
like, no, I mean,
Yeah,
she,
not even like a
she's
chunk
a-
of change. Like, here you go. This is it. That's all
Yeah,
you
no,
get.
she just
Fucking take
channels-
this money and leave me alone.
no, she
Yeah.
she just channels all of her grief and anger like toward Shannon, takes it out on
Yes.
her. It's totally unnecessary.
It was
When
it's
really,
like it's a confluence
all
of
Jack's fault because he didn't fucking save Mr.
That's
Rutherford.
right.
Whoa.
It was the wig, actually.
Oh my God.
Yes.
God, it always
The
The
bad
wig
wig.
makes bad decisions.
Yes.
My best moment I actually had was Shannon takes it in the gut. Not because necessarily because I hate the character, but because it was just such a bold choice for the show. And I love the moment for that reason alone. Worst moment though is the look on Sayid's face at the end. That is like some rage that I do not want to be on the other end of.
That's some
Yeah, that is
torture
gut
coming.
wrenching.
That's some torture coming.
Wrenching. That's a torture look.
Gut-wrenching.
Yeah.
Wah, wah.
Oh
Derek,
my God, I didn't even mean to be punny when I said gut wrenching.
Woo!
Sometimes you just
All
got to
right.
take a shot, Christy.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Derek, what are your best and
All right,
worst?
so the best was whenever Sayid was telling Shannon that he's going to be with her and that he will not abandon her like everyone else has.
Oh, you like that romantic stuff?
I did.
All right.
Nah, well, that aspect of it, because
Okay.
she really got had a shit. Because the worst moment is when Sabrina Carlisle refuses to help her with the money that her father should have left her.
Yeah.
It's a real bitch move.
Yeah. Christy, how about you?
I mean, best was at the beginning with Shannon and Sayid finally doing it in the Love Shack.
Yeah.
And then worst was at the end when that fucking bitch Ana Lucia
Oh my God.
killed
Is this
Shannon.
why you hate her? Because she killed Shannon? Or
No.
shot Shannon? No,
No.
okay.
I just
Gotta give it to her,
fucking
though.
like her.
In the rain, one shot in partial cover like that. She got skills.
Yeah.
No, she
She only
doesn't.
had one bullet.
You never fucking pull the trigger unless you know what it is that you're shooting at. She did
Well-
not know what she was shooting at.
Obviously.
Well, when you're running from the others, I think there's probably some.
And they've been terrorized for
blood
40
going.
plus days by these
Yeah.
others, so maybe they're just, they seem freaked out about him.
I don't know.
Yeah.
This is my. I grew up with guns in my home,
I agree.
and knowing gun safety and
Oh,
and
yeah.
all of that, and
Yeah.
you don't even put your finger on the trigger. You hold your finger straight. You only put it on the trigger when you're actually ready to pull the trigger and fucking kill somebody. But you have to know what your target is at that point.
True. But emotions run high, and that's like
that's the problem.
That is the problem, but there's also the, like somebody said something, and I can't remember exactly what it was, but that that war is like one part emotion, one part chaos, and one part luck. And in a place like this where you've got your people have been killed, like, and she's got the whole backstory with Goodwin and all that other stuff. Like, she's seen a bunch of really horrific shit happen. So the fact that they're scared, she's trying to protect her crew, and she accidentally shoots somebody. Yeah, it sucks, but I don't fault her for it.
This is a fascinating discussion, and I'm going to put a little bit of a pin in it to say we're going to come back once we get more of her backstory, because discussing this moment once Derek knows her deal is going to be interesting and important. Christy, why don't you keep chatting? Tell us about your best and worst characters and who you're going to fucking kill.
So my best characters, I love Michael and Jen in this episode. And yeah, Shannon makes my top 3. The worst character is Ana Lucia.
Oh my God.
No.
Followed, like, if I could make them all equal, it would be Ana Lucia, Sabrina Carlisle, and Adam Rutherford. Who I don't know if we've made it clear, but Adam Rutherford is Shannon's father.
Her dad.
So I'm going to kill Ana Lucia because I fucking hate her.
Oh my God.
And I'm going to get in that love shack with Sayid and Shannon and have a threesome.
Oh, wow.
Hey now. All right. Derek, what about you?
Best character was Mr. Echo. I like him. I like Ben. I like him. Locke was second. I put Michael as third. I guess because he built that stretcher for Sawyer. And he didn't. I don't think he screamed for Walt in this episode.
Walt!
He just didn't let everyone know that his son is missing.
He screamed for Carl for 30 straight minutes, but never said
Oh my God.
The worst was Sabrina Carlisle, because I just can't stand people like her. Second worst was actually Ana Lucia. Yeah, and then I put Sayid in there because for a while he was getting kind of be a pain in the ass. And I'll fuck Shannon, and then I'll kill Sabrina Carlisle. The gut.
Oh my God.
Sayid already tore the other one up.
Oh my God. Whew. That's a lot. All right. Yeah. I have Mr. Echo as the best character this week. He just keeps standing up for like the weakest members of the tribe, and I like that.
Echo.
I had Rose in second, although she's not in it much. The bits that she's in are, I feel like, kind of profound, and she's like steady Rose, and I appreciate it. I have Ana Lucia in my top 3. She just keeps doing what she can to protect them. We'll dive more into the incident in the next episode and beyond. But
I'll dive
worst
into
characters,
gladly.
Sabrina, Boone, and I have Sayid. I have Sayid on my worst because
what is wrong with you?
Because he didn't support her when she needed it. It was a little too late, is how I was feeling it.
Okay.
Yep.
And I am both fucking and killing Shannon this week because that's basically all I've wanted to do with her since the beginning. So that's that.
What, fucking kill her?
Yep. Ben, how about you?
I actually, the last couple of weeks have been really, really similar to Derek's selections. My favorite's Mr. Echo. Again, like you said, he's a stand-up dude, and he acts on his conscience. I'm going to, something that rarely ever happens to me. Michael is in the second slot this week.
Whoa.
Yeah. I mean,
out of nowhere,
like standing up for for Sawyer and like making a difficult decision of like, hey, we're gonna carry this big son of a bitch back, and like he did something, and he's not constant. Like, I get it, his son is missing, and that's got to be goddamn awful. But from a watcher's perspective, it just gets annoying that he's constantly in Walt. So
right,
Coral.
Coral. And then I got Locke in third place. And then for worst, I've got Sabrina Carlisle, obviously, because she is just a cunt. I don't have a third worst, but my second worst was Sayid. Again, because when he turns into this this kind of useless. I don't know. He seems totally unmanned when he's with her, and I get it. Like, he brings out the best in her, but he has to sacrifice so much of his utility to do that I don't know if it's a real good trade. So
okay,
I'm gonna
fair.
fuck Ana Lucia again just because I haven't seen Kate much, so proximity infatuation, I guess. And then I'm gonna kill Shannon just because she's already dead, and double tap.
Double tap that. All right. Can you update us on the rankings then, babe?
I can, yes. Let's see. We have got Mr. Echo streaking into he surpassed Kate. He is now in first place.
Well, hello.
Yeah, Mr. Echo making some believers. We've got Kate still in second place, and we've got Hurley and Helen still sharing third place now.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
For the worst, I don't think we've had any real movement there. You got Mr. Cooper and Randy Douchebag Nations. Behind them, you got Susan. And then behind in the third place, you've got now Sabrina Carlisle with the hotel manager, Mr. Kim, in third place.
Yeah, it's like a
Jack's wig is no longer in the top 5 anymore.
Garbage down there.
Yeah, but it's just it is really a cesspool of like awful characters that have been used this season. Goodness. All right. Christy, what are your final impressions this week?
I loved this episode, as difficult as the ending was, in my opinion. I really, really liked it. I don't really know what more to say. I loved it.
That's all I got to say about that.
Yes.
How about you, Ben? What do you have to say about that?
It's a really great episode. I feel some compassion for Shannon after everything that she's gone through. You saw most of her other flashbacks. You just started hating her more because you saw like just what a using just what a bitch she was. But now you kind of start to understand that genesis a little bit more. So I do feel some compassion for her. It's not enough to override my distaste for her on the whole, especially seeing what she's done to Sayid.
She hasn't done anything to him.
She hasn't done anything to him that he didn't let her do.
Yeah,
I know. She has apparently a magic vagina, and she ruined him.
Yeah,
that's
she did.
What it seems like a little bit.
Well, he's got a reason to be Sayid again.
Got a reason to carry a gun in his pants at all times.
Yeah, seriously.
Yep.
Oh boy.
But it was good. I mean, what this was the meeting of the two worlds, and it had been building up, and I like the way that they used. It ended with a bang, and I think that was a really.
Oh my god!
I didn't even mean it like that way. Like you see these. It actually, if we think about it, it actually started with a bang, but it started and ended with a bang.
Started and ended with a bang.
Yep.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
And there was a gun in both scenes.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
there
all right.
you go. So yeah,
my
great episode.
final impression. I felt like redemption came a little bit too late for me with Shannon. I get like the addition of the backstory. Yes, we see how Sabrina kind of victimized her, and that was shitty. But in the same way that I felt like I was angry at Sawyer in his episode where we find out, he comes from trauma, but he focused that into traumatizing other people. And I feel like Shannon eventually does the same, where she victimizes Boone, and she didn't need to do that.
Yeah.
And so, although I understand her more, I can't. Again, I think it's the same with, like you said, Ben. Like, it doesn't override my previous distaste for her.
Okay,
and
but
I'm
let me ask
like,
you this:
okay.
If you are seeing a parallel between the fact that she has used her past as an excuse to
Sawyer,
exactly, you're more forgiving of Sawyer using his past as an excuse.
No, I criticized him. No, because I criticized him for the same in the episode where we find out that he shot the wrong guy. Like I remember I criticized him at the time saying like that's not okay. That's why he made it into my worst characters, I think, that week.
Yeah, I think he made it into a lot of people's worst characters through most of the season. It was only by like a few acts here and there that he started to redeem himself.
Right. No, but what I'm saying is like I feel like I'm holding them to the same standard.
Yeah,
where I'm like,
absolutely.
Okay. But now, I mean, she's dead. He still has time to redeem himself more. She does not. So I don't know. I guess I just so far the two deaths, she and her brother, they feel like warm up deaths to me, and they don't upset me as much. I guess is what I'm saying in my final impression. Derek, I'm interested to see how you feel about the second big kind of, I don't know, character.
I really like this episode. It was a really
I guess she doesn't really
episode.
die. Technically, she doesn't die kind of
that
yet.
wound,
But,
I mean, she got half her guts are coming out. So
yes,
I think
she did.
Right. So how did you feel about it?
Oh, it was. I really liked this episode. I mean, the ending was a shocker. I didn't expect that to happen, and it did kind of make me sad because she was trying, starting to redeem herself. I didn't, dislike her as much as in the previous episodes, but it happened and she's gone. So we also, find out the others took Cindy, wherever they're taking her. And my biggest question though is like, what was Walt doing? Like going shh, and like, is he like under control, someone's control? Because he was just acting very strange, just.
Or is it even Walt?
Well, I'm about to say, is that even really Walt?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Good questions. Next week is another big week. It is an episode called The Other 48 Days. It is a back-ender episode. And Derek is going to present it to us. And we'll just say this is the first episode of the series that does not have flashbacks, because technically the entire thing is a flashback.
Yeah, we're going deep into the back end.
Woo!
Oh my God.
Wow.
Next week, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Lost in My 40s is a Space Bear Media production. Executive produced and edited by me, Lacy J. Sound engineering, editing, and original music by Benjamin Trim. Like and follow Lost in My 40s on Facebook to interact with your hosts. Plus, follow Space Bear Media on YouTube to watch our episode pre-shows. You can also find us at SpaceBear_media on Instagram and Twitter. Or come to our website, spacebearmedia.com.